Let me ask you something. What if the biggest risk right now isn't something dramatic, but it is the slow changes that are already happening around you? Like the food is getting more expensive, the systems, they are getting tighter, and access is getting a lot more controlled. Not someday, but like right now, because here's the problem. A lot of people don't even see that it's happening. I could name a bunch of people right now that don't have a clue. No clue. And when I say something, they look at me like I got 10 heads. So I've just stopped. But yeah, a lot of people still don't realize what's going on. Welcome to Prepping Communities. Today we're going to break down something important, and it is the biggest shifts happening in preparedness right now, and why prepping today looks completely different than it did even a few years ago. Because here's the truth. Prepping isn't just about stockpiling anymore. It's not just food, gear, or bug out bags. It is about understanding systems, because the world has changed and it is changing. Everything is more connected, it's more centralized. And honestly, it's a lot more fragile than a lot of people realize. So instead of preparing for one big event, people are starting to prepare for constant disruption. Because once you see it, you cannot unsee it. You just see it. So let's walk through what that actually looks like. I took this from this Today's video is inspired from a posting on our platform, preppingcommunities.com, the top 10 trends in prepping for 2026. So I thought, let's talk about that today. So the first one is absolutely the cost of living, right? This is where most people are feeling it right now. People aren't preparing for what if anymore. They are prepping because life is super expensive. The food, the fuel, like basic living, that is the trigger right now. So prepping looks like bulk food, gardening, food storage, nothing extreme but smart. It's what our grandparents did, and they started to do during the Great Depression. Fewer affordable resources meant people needed to become more self-sufficient, or what we call nowadays prepping. The second thing that people are prepping for is energy, because the reality is if the power goes out, everything stops. The water, the communication, the food storage, everything. We have been so conditioned to rely more and more upon energy that we just don't control. So now people are building layers like solar, generators, battery backups, not to go off grid, but to avoid being stuck in case the grid does go down. The third thing that people are prepping for is global instability. So here's something that a lot of people miss, because what happens across the world will show up locally. Fuel prices, food availability, supply chains, and the real impact, it's not the event, it's the ripple effect. So people are starting to think ahead now, which is good to see. The fourth thing that people are prepping for is skills versus gear. This one changes everything, because gear can break, it can run out, it can disappear. Skills do not. So now people are focusing on growing food, fixing things, water purification, because skills will scale, gear it just doesn't. And then off-grid thinking would be something else that people are preparing for. It's not about going off-grid, but it's about thinking differently. Use the system, but don't depend on it. So backup water, backup power, backup plans, quietly building independence without changing your entire life. The sixth thing, community versus being the solo lone wolf. Because here's the truth. Most people don't want to hear you are not doing this alone. But the lone wolf idea, it sounds good, but I don't think it holds up. Skills, resources, security, it all scales with people. Preparedness is becoming community-based. And one of the major reasons that we created preppingcommunities.com is to bring people together to connect, prepare, and share ideas, resources through discussions and groups and postings, etc. For me, I don't think the lone wolf is a good strategy. Some of you may disagree. I would love to hear what you think in the comments. Are you more community-based, or are you more like a lone wolf? The seventh thing, financial prepping, because most people think of disasters, but the first real hit is usually financial. I mean, we are seeing it right now. The job loss is insane. People are losing their jobs. And it's not because they don't want to work. It's because either they're cutting back, the companies are cutting back, or AI is taking over. And then there's inflation, there's unexpected bills. It is widely cited that about 60 to 65% of Americans live paycheck to paycheck. That's right across North America. And around 35 to 40% of people would struggle to cover just a $400 emergency. It's just insane. So prepping now includes savings, reducing debt, holding some cash, because this is what hits first. And then the 8th thing, access equals control. This one is a shift. Everything we rely on, we don't actually control. Banking, food, energy, information. And here's the key. If access changes, everything changes. It doesn't matter what exists. If you can't access it, you can't use it. So to find out more about this topic, please watch my last video, Access Equals Control. I go a lot deeper into that topic. The 9th thing, I'll link it in the description as well. The 9th thing, knowledge. That equals survival, because this is where most people have a blind spot. They think they have knowledge, but really, they just have access to it. If your knowledge is depending on the internet and you take that away, then what? If you can't access it, you don't have it. And this is why we created Prepper Offline, not as another product, but as a solution to this exact problem. It's not just a download, it's a completely different way of thinking about knowledge. So instead of depending on cloud systems, platforms, and internet access, you keep it on your device, you back it up. It covers topics like food, water, medical, security, shelter, power, communications, gardening, homesteading, preparedness planning, all of it. It's structured, it's organized, it's searchable. It's kind of cool. It's like a website that you can search as a resource library, but offline. And again, it works without the internet, because this is the reality. Knowledge is only valuable if you can access it when you need it. And if you can't, you don't really have it. So Prepper Offline is about taking critical knowledge out of systems you don't control and putting it back in your hands. That is knowledge resilience. And then the 10th thing is practical prepping. And this is where it all comes together, not apocalypse prepping. Real life prepping, power outages, supply issues, short-term disruptions, the things that actually happen. So what's the big change? Prepping is shifting from stockpiling to system building. Not just what do I have, but what still works when things don't. And that's really what this is all about. Not fear, not extremes, just staying steady no matter what happens. You want to be prepared. And if this makes you think differently, please take a look at Prepper Offline, because once you see the gap, you can't unsee it. And to access Prepper Offline, you just have to register with preppingcommunities.com. Membership is free. I'm curious, which one of these top trends are you seeing the most right now? Please drop it in the comments below. I'd love to hear what you're thinking. I appreciate you spending a few minutes with me today, and I will see you in the next video.